Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 81. 81. It's a very big number. Good evening. How are you, Brady Cush?
I am good, Matt. 81, man. That's doing pretty well. Closing in on the 100 mark.
It is. We're hurtling towards three figures at a rate of knots. We've got a great show tonight. We're going to be talking through hot scores from the week, and there's some pretty spicy scores, at least in the North Island, which I had a look at this week. So we're going through that. We've got the results of the Midwinter Classic that happened last weekend. We're also due to be joined by a guest tonight, Simon Feasey, who recently has come back from the States, having played in tournaments such as the Beaver State Fling and others. However, he's not made his way through to our virtual studio yet, so that remains to be seen whether he's got held up somewhere. But hopefully we'll have Simon Feasey joining us a little bit later on. If not, we're going to be talking about all sorts of things to do with upcoming tournaments. There's a lot of excitement coming this that's come this week, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about that a bit later on. But let's kick ourselves off as ever with hot scores. Brady, start us off down south.
Down south as ever in Invercargill. We got some people traveling this week down the South Island. So Invercargill, the hot round taken out by Pete McKay, 14 under par at Queen's Park. Nice shooting, Pete. In Dunedin at Chingford Park, we got Chris Brooks, shoots the hot round of -6 this week. And out at Brockville, Tom McKay shoots a -6 as well to take the hot round at Brockville. Over to the Gardens, what I'm going to call the Wakatipu washout, the second washout or lockout, as it were, by none other than Christchurch Jeremy Brockenshire. 13 under par at the Gardens, 11 under par at Tucker's, getting it done in the Wakatipu Basin. Well done, Jeremy, down south. Let's jump over the Crown Range and go to Wanaka. Ely Point, Gus Van Gistren comes back to the show, -3 for the hot round at Ely Point. In Lismore Park, Ben Quinn stands alone at 8 under par for the hot round. Up to the Garden City in Christchurch, Joel Kakawa comes in at 12 under par to take the hot round at Jelly Park. And Willie Taratna and Ben Schicker tie at -5 out at Brooker Ave. Jump over the street to Queen's Park Reserve. We have John O'Scott comes in at -6. And at Warren Park, Callie Thompson getting it done with 11 under par. To finish off the South Island, I thought I'd give a big shout out to Nelson and their new Saxton Field course. Anthony Andrews comes in at -7 this week on the new basketed course in Nelson. Matt, what do we got going on in the north?
In the north, at Berrenpool, we've got Brady Cush and Scott Woodhouse, both shooting 6 under par at Berrenpool this week. Very well done to them. It's Team Sweet Chain's Brett Carlisle, who hits 4 under par at Hikoikoi. And with the best score of 2022 so far, Mitch Hudson hits 9 under par at Harcourt Park. 9 under par is incredible. Look out for that.
Bring on fault line.
Bring on fault line indeed. Up at Linklater, Ryan Kitto hits 8 under par. Spa Park Red is Josh Pratt with a +1. Over at Maryland's, Amy Whitmore hits 3 under par. Another big score at McLaren's. Michael Neal hits 10 under par.
Wait, well,
at
what?
McLaren, at the extreme, at McLaren Extreme. Richard Waterson hits 11 under par at Henderson. So well done to everybody who hit a hot score this week. Some really, really top scores there. And I know Mitch was especially excited. He messaged me after his round with a screenshot of his scorecard. He was very proud. And that was with a bogey, I might add. So that's 9 under par, shooting 10 birdies. 10 birdies at Harcourt Park is not easy. There was some sanctioned disc golf last week in the form of the Midwinter Classic. As expected, Levi Stout took out the tournament by 9 strokes, finishing with a -18. He shot the hot round of the weekend with a 10.26 rated first round. In second place was Quinn Latter. Well done to Quinn, who shot a 10.06 rated round 2. So well done and welcome. Well, I can't say welcome because I've never done it, but you're in the 1,000 club now. Well done, Quinn. And so his second round was the hot round in the afternoon. And Eilish Kumak takes out the FPO division in Dunedin. I think it's the middle one of the 3 that are being held in the series down in Dunedin. Some really good feedback coming back actually from all of those ones. We've got all of that means that the power rankings, we'll have to update the power rankings a little bit later on. And with the blood sacrifice at the Confluence happening later on this weekend, it's surely going to be interesting as to who takes that out. Right. Simon Feasey is not with us. He's not in our virtual studio. We've messaged him and called him on all sorts of devices and whatever. But if he turns up, then great. If not, then, we've been stood up. We all know what that's like. And although it's the first time it's happened on the show, ironically. So there we go. It's taken 81 episodes for somebody to snub us, but there we go. Right. Some things which have happened this week, however, there is some exciting stuff that's happened. First up, Nationals. Now, I know we've only just had Nationals, relatively speaking. It was back in March. What Rego for the 2023 Nationals opens on Sunday. So what we're going to do is, where's my thing? We're going to just quickly pop over to the disc golf scene page of the tournament. Bung this up on the screen. There we are. We'll probably need to make it a bit bigger as well. So the first up to know is that on the 21st of August at 1 p.m., Disc Golf South members and divisional winners of the 2022 Smash and 2022 Nationals. So both those tournaments, if you won your division, and if you're in the top 64 men from the 2021-2022 standings, then your registration opens on Sunday. That's been a slight change. I think it changed on Thursday night. I saw. So make sure that if you're in that top 64, there's a post about it from the Invercargill Disc Golf South Facebook page. Then you've got it. You'll be able to check if you head up to here and hit invitations. If your name's on the list, then you've got an advance ticket. So you can buy that on a bit earlier than you might otherwise get to. If you're not in any of those, then all female divisions and all juniors opens on the 25th of August. The 25th of August is next Thursday at 5 p.m. International players, if there's any international players watching, your Rego opens on the 26th, next Friday, and then open registration is 5 p.m. on the 28th of August, which is a week on Sunday. So yeah, be aware that you do need a current PDGA membership through to the end of 2023 in order to compete. And it's being played on 2 18-hole disc golf courses with tee times over 3 days. So you've got there's, I think it's open to 250 players. There's a very, very good chance that you'll get to play if you would like to next March. So yeah, get involved. The dates for the tournament, I should say, are the 3rd to the 5th of March, Friday to Sunday, and that's in Queen's Park in Invercargill. Brady, you excited?
I don't know. Well, it depends on if I can register in time or not. I'm not top 64. I didn't win a division because I held nationals next year. So, it could be sold out by the time I try to jump in.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope that 250 spots gives you an opportunity to get in. We shall see. We'll find out on Sunday. I can imagine that the majority of the spots open to. So what if there's divisional winners? There's got to be 6 divisional winners, I'm going to guess, and then probably about 6 divisional winners from nationals. I'm guessing it's probably 7 or 8. But
there's 12.
7 or 8. Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
Plus the top 64 men. So there's 76 spots that are going to open on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Now, of those 76, how many will register in that first few days? Well, probably most. Probably more than half, I would say. More than half, but maybe not more than 75%, I'd probably guess. And then all females and all juniors, you've probably got about half a dozen to a dozen juniors, and perhaps 3 or 4 times that ladies who would enter. I know that Invercargill and Christchurch in particular have got a large ladies contingent, so I can see a lot of them signing up. Then international players, be interesting to see if any international players, probably expecting some Aussies to come over. I would expect first nationals for some time that international travel's kind of been a thing. Maybe look forward to some Aussie players coming over on the 26th, and then open registration on the 28th. So you might need to be fastest finger first on that 28th, Brady, on the Sunday. So make sure you get home from Social League in time.
I know, right? Register. No dilly-dallying after my round.
There isn't. No, not at all. So make sure that you get involved. And of course, anybody out there who does, it's going to be it looks like an absolute crackerjack. And I know that the Smash team, it was so unfortunate. I did. For personal reasons, I was unable to attend the Smash last year, having been planning to. So I'm very much looking forward to this year and to going down and playing, particularly as it's nationals as well, on a course that I haven't played for years. Actually, not played Invercargill for a long time. And when I played it, I was even more crap than I am now. So I'm looking forward to playing it in a few months' time. Well, 6 months' time. So. Yeah. Any further thoughts? Anything else we need to cover about the Smash?
What else? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I was gonna say get ready on Sunday, and register when you can. It's gonna be a great event. It was super fun to go down last year and play the course. It's got those tight lines through the woods. It got those nice open holes in the wind. So yeah, it was definitely a treat to play. I wish I could play it more often and prepare for it a little bit better. But hey, I'll take my chances when you can. It should be a great event. They always do a good job down south, and to see what they did last year, just having the South Island Championships, and to see where they'll take nationals this year, I'm pretty excited to see what they'll do. And hey, like Bray, tour director for NZDG, he's assistant tournament director for the event. So yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. Everything's pointing to it being an absolute crackerjack of an event. So make sure you get involved. Another event which I spotted on. I spotted this on Disc Golf Scene, but I've not seen anywhere. I've not seen any other information about it. Right, so I've not seen any other posts, and so apologies. I like to think that I've got my finger relatively on the pulse. It's probably not entirely, but to some degree on the pulse when it comes to disc golf events in New Zealand. And so I just wanted to share this with you. If you go to the Disc Golf Scene tournaments page and then go to upcoming disc golf tournaments in New Zealand, you got the Blood Sacrifice of the Confluence, One Disc Wazza, Cold Snap Open, all the ones that we're kind of used to. Then the big Paul Macbeth ones here, look. There's the Petone one if you want to get involved. 14 people have so far. Hats off to them. But if anybody else wants to get involved, then hit us up. That's going to be fun. You keep going down. You've got the Extreme, Trilogy Challenge, Armageddon, etc. Oh, what is this? What is this, Brady? Disc Golf Clinic with Drew Gibson on the 11th of November, eh?
Wait, what?
So I was just,
wait, click all the link. Where's it go? What's it say?
I was bored at work, as you do, and so went onto the thing. Yeah, registration opens on September the 1st.
September 1st. 2
weeks' time at Jelly Park. $50. Disc Golf Clinic with Drew Gibson. I've not seen any information about this. So yeah, we're gonna have to reach out to Jay Pookie and see if we can find out a bit more information. I just found it by scrolling on Disc Golf Scene, and I'm sure many other people have found it as well. But yeah, I was like, oh wow, that's cool. Obviously, we know he's over for the Aussie Nats. Do you know what date Aussie Nats is? I think it's the 2 weekends after, isn't it? It's the
correct. So he might be. It sounds well 19th, based 20th? On that. He's coming here first.
Yeah, looks like it. I mean, I think it's the 19th, 20th. Is that Aussie Nats?
Yeah.
So and we know he's playing in that. So yeah. So that should be cool. So look out for that, and also look out for some posts about it. I'm sure there'll be some hype generated about this, because this is the first kind of one of these we've had for some time, obviously due to various different things. And so yeah, Jay, if you're around, get in contact. We'll certainly be getting in contact with you to talk a little bit more about this. And yeah, if you live in Christchurch, or even if you don't live in Christchurch, it's on the same weekend as Faultline Fury, I would add. So if you're in Wellington or wanting to play in Faultline, then it might not do well for you unless you're willing to fly back from Christchurch on Friday evening. Could be a squeeze. And it's also the same weekend as the Friday before Bros for Change is scheduled to take place in November. So yeah, we got something that's exciting, Brady.
Well, I was gonna say, like, is that a consolation prize? So if I can't register for Faultline in time, does that mean, I can go hang out with Drew Gibson for the weekend?
Well, do you mean what if you don't manage to register in Faultline in time? Is it going to be one of those, or you got to play your home tournament?
I mean, like, I want to play my home tournament, but if tournaments go as tournaments go, maybe, yeah. No, I mean, of course I want to play Faultline Fury, like I always want to try to bring home our little like locals cup. It's pretty much what I play for every year. It's super fun. Great competition for us locals kind of battling against each other at our home course. But I mean, like that sounds like a great opportunity to hang out with Drew for the weekend or the day. And the idea of like clinics one-on-one from one of the most explosive disc golf forms on the planet is insane. I've thought about going to the Aussie Champs just to watch him play, regardless of whether or not I can play. Because, yeah, Aussie Champs sold out there 200 and whatever in like 2 weeks, I think. Even amidst, because they had their registration back during some of their lockdowns and that kind of second wave of stuff. So, yeah. No, that's great. It's great to see all this stuff popping up, to be honest. Like Topo Thermal Throwdown, like, people were complaining before about, there's not enough events. And I'm like, well, it looks like you got your wish there, New Zealand.
You did. I mean, look, you've got tournaments that are way ahead of time that have got near hundreds of registered players, 141 people playing at McLaren's in like, in I watched over a month's time. If you want to know what this page is, by the way, it's ever so easy to get to. You just go to Disc Golf Scene, and then on the left-hand side, or click Tournaments at the top. And then if it may just come up, these are the tournaments that I'm following, so that's why they appear here. And then if you go to down on the side here and just click New Zealand, you'll see all of them. So yeah, I got it bookmarked, and every now and again have a scour, and just sort of stumbled across that. So that was pretty cool. Right. Okay, where are we going to go now? What else has happened this week, Brady?
Well, I was going to say, big shout out to team. Speaking of Australia, shout out to Team Australia, who's currently competing in the Disc Golf Team Championships in Estonia, I think it is. I believe they won their first round. So congratulations to those guys and gals for competing over there. Well done. They have been medal winners in the past. So I look forward to following them and my friends who are competing overseas.
Yeah, what was the deal with New Zealand then? Did we not qualify, or was that
I don't think it was a qualification. I know that it was super difficult in the past to field the full team. And so the idea of I'm not sure.
Estonia is not going to be easy, is it? I mean, there's easier places to get to than Estonia. But
and with COVID restrictions, like when because we were in one of our lockdowns or in red light something or other at the time of registration. I know Simon Feasey has been a big champion of those overseas teams and organizing those to go over. But I also know that we are on kind of the bottom of the world. So it does cost a pretty penny to leave the island and go visit the rest of the world. So, yeah, they were not inexpensive trips. And so, yeah, it was kind of hard to get a full team because I think it's teams of 12, if not more. So the idea I think we barely scraped in with like 8 people for the 2 that we did attend. But I'd love to see New Zealand go to those in the future and go back to those. It's been really fun. I think, Pete Boyle has gone over, in one event and played. I think that was the Vancouver one. Like Haley and Kyle have gone over, like Leanna and Roberts when they went to Europe. They went and played. So yeah, it's everything I can see. It looks like heaps of fun. So stroke play, match play, skins, doubles. Yeah, it's a heaps of fun. So yeah, I hope we can go over there. Rumor has it something like that might be coming to New Zealand itself, so we could kind of compete club versus club, but one step at a time, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and love to see it. But it does sound like it's got to be a very kind of one. You got to have 12 people in a relatively financially stable position to be able to afford a trip like that, which certainly not everybody is in a position to do that. And have an inclination, not just have the means, but have the inclination to compete and play at that kind of high level. And so, yeah, I think it would be great to see a team enter. Is it yearly, or is it every year? Is it every couple of years? Or
I think it's every other, from what I can tell. I don't know if I think it's every other, and it moves around because it was like Vancouver, and then it was Europe, and then I think it was the States or something, and then it's back over Europe again. I was gonna say, speaking of other formats, I know that you spin the wheel all the time here in Wellington for the Oscar events. Do you have a favorite alternate format yourself? Besides stroke play, if you were to play another event, are you a doubles guy? You a skins guy? You a match play guy?
So I don't. I like stroke play as a format because I like the idea of it's a longer game. It's a longer form of the game, and I don't know. I just prefer that kind of play. I think.
You're a test cricket fan, aren't you?
Yeah, totally, absolutely. I quite happily sit down and watch a 5-day test. Absolutely, no problem. I've done it several times actually, live and on the couch. So it's definitely something I prefer. At Hoscar, we tend to mix it up with a bit of where the theme rounds tend to be more like one disc rounds. Like at the weekend, we had a weekend just gone. It was a one disc round, but your card mates picked the disc for you, right? So you didn't have a choice over what disc you got. I gave Andy his most overstable Kiwi, and he shot 4 under par. So. And then he got his whole bag back for the championship round and shot 1 under par. So who knows? What? Who knows? So
too many options.
Well, that may be. And actually, one of the advantages of having a one disc round or your putter only round is another favorite, is that you get to learn that disc way more than you might ordinarily do. So I'd encourage anybody out there especially if you've got a new disc, and especially if it's a putter or a throwing putter or a mid-range, play a few one disc rounds with that disc, and you'll soon find out what it can do and what it can't do, and where it fits into your bag, or if it indeed does fit into your bag. So yeah. Of the two, stroke plays my favorite. I'm not a big kind of must make this to get 10 skins kind of, put too much pressure on myself. I think as many people who played on the same card as me will attest to, I prefer to play the safe game, and as you well know, and don't take as many risks as perhaps other people do. But yeah.
Well, and so I'm curious. So because we were speaking about going down to nationals, so national championships on the line. Yeah, it's a one disc round to win.
So you got okay. So final round of nationals is now one disc round. Yeah.
Yeah. Or Yep. So you have to choose one disc to play with to win the national championship. What disc are you taking?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm picking a Latitude 64 Trust every single day.
What?
Yeah.
Why a Trust? How many? First, how many trusts are in your bag?
3.
3. Okay.
3. I've got a light blue prototype. I've got a pink prototype and a kind of I don't know. The color they call it is petrol on their website, and it's called it's sort of like a greeny dark blue. If you imagine an oil slick on the pavement or on the road, the kind of color it looks like that color. And I've got 3 of them. The one I'm taking is the oldest one, which is also ironically the more overstable one. which is the prototype, and I'm playing with that all day. Yeah, quite happily.
See, okay. I mean, like, I follow you with like the overstable. Oh, like Discraft Zone all day. The fact that I can.
The trust is like a zone, just a little bit faster, right? That's all it is. It's just a click or two faster, and that's because I need to make it faster because I can't throw as far as you, right? So I need to have a little bit more through the air, you know. So if I went for a putter, it wouldn't work. If I threw a pure or a premium keystone, it wouldn't work as well.
Okay, so it's me and my zone versus you and your trust. What course are we doing this one disc round on?
What, to give myself the best chance of winning, or just because I want to be at? Well, I don't really fancy myself anyway, to be honest.
Any course doesn't matter. Doesn't even have to be in Wellington.
I'd probably stick to somewhere like Harcourt Park, I think, because I reckon because the Harcourt Park doesn't really require distance, and so my personal weakness to my game is distance. I struggle to get over 90 meters, and so with Harcourt Park, there's really only 2 holes that are longer than that, and they're just, one of them's is never being played for a birdie. It was hole 5, and hole 4. I think I've hit the birdie once in 100 and something rounds on new disc. So yeah, like I'm not playing either of those 2 shots for 2 holes for birdie. It's but that's what about you? You where would you fancy kicking my ass the most in that match?
Well, I for me, one disc rounds are about fun. And so, like, I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy like not thinking about it, like I put down my mini, I pick up my disc, I throw it again. You know what I mean? So I was going to say, for all of you guys listening and watching out there, comment below Harcourt Park, Matt with a trust, Brady with a zone, who wins and by how much? If you, I'll give up. Hey, do you remember that P Waka Waka? Like my camo P Walk?
Your camo P. When you say camo, do you mean red?
Well, yeah, probably. No, so yeah, comment below. I'll give away. So I have a platinum tie-dye, or no, it's going to be an atomic then at that point. It's a tie-dye P Waka Waka. Guess who's going to win and by how much in the comments below. And next week, or after the challenge is settled, because Wellington is deciding to rain all the time, after the challenge is settled, you'll have the chance to win that P-Walk. So yeah.
Matt by a dozen. Ethan Matt really thinks we're going to shoot bad. I'd be astounded that like there'd be lots of clapping on the course if that was the final score, and it wouldn't be from me. Yeah, I'd be astounded. No, I'd be comfortable. I'd be I reckon in a fun round with reasonable conditions with a trust, I reckon I could shoot. I reckon I could probably get to two or 3 under par. Brett, you're 2
hot round, Sweet Chain Zone. Brett Carlisle got you by 2.
Brady by 4. That's more like it. It's yeah. What about a handicap system? See now, Brian, this is interesting, right? Because we used to run at Hosco. We used to run a handicap system. That so you put in your scores, or you kind of had your scores. Levi by 4. Sorry, me by 4. That's outrageous. There's a bunch of people here who really don't know how bad I am.
Anything can happen at Harcourt. I'm also throwing a super overstable putter.
Well, yeah, but it's the right. I think it's the right disc for those conditions. There used to be a handicap round at Hikoikoi for Hosco. That's how your Hosco used to be run, right? So you'd put in your scores, and then it would go into this kind of machine / random number generator, which would then give you a handicap, which you then apply to your score at the end. A little bit like golf, like actual ball golf, right? Where you'd go where you'd play off a handicap and then adjust your score. I mean, it's trickier with disc golf, I think, because the type of holes in disc golf, I think, vary more than the type of holes in stick golf. I'll probably get absolutely crucified for saying that, but no, I believe that to be true. If you think about the different types of holes you can get in disc golf versus the different type of holes you get in regular golf, I think there's far more randomness in disc golf because of trees and woods, and elevation changes are more likely, right? So that's just what I think. So yeah.
Well, it's an interesting system, and honestly, it worked well for what we were using it for. So the idea of the 12 most recent rounds were counted with the tops, with like your lowest score and your highest score thrown out. So as an average of your like 10 average rounds from your last 10 played. And I think it was like +1 or +0.5 or something like that to like keep you honest. But yeah, like it made for like anyone could take it. So I think that's really interesting. The idea too of, it's that, me versus you versus two strokes. It'll be really interesting. To be fair, I'm looking forward to the challenge. It should be pretty fun. And I found, is this red? What color is this?
I don't know. You dyed that, right?
No, I got it dyed. Or like,
okay.
This is how I won it.
Oh, okay.
So I want to share the wealth. So yeah, this is my camo P-Walk. So this is what's up for grabs.
Anybody who voted for me has got no chance. But there's some guesses that are coming in by. Thanks, Ewan. There's some guesses coming in that are probably pretty close to being sort of close. We shall see. Bearing in mind, also I haven't played for a while, and loser has to go pro. No, Levi. I'm firmly going to be playing in MA40 from January the 1st next year. I'm very much sitting in that division for.
I was going to say, actually, speaking of going pro, has Levi gone pro? No,
not yet.
No, okay. Because I forget what tournament it was. It was, remember when you almost made me go pro for like all of 48 hours?
Yeah. Actually, you were a pro on the PDGA website. If you looked at the PDGA website on a while, then you were a professional disc golfer. So congratulations.
So yeah, it was one of those that like Levi had the same thing. I think it was like in the live stats for one of the tournaments he just played down south and took like first or second. And it was like, oh, I accepted like $250 cash. And I'm like, wait a second. I thought that he was staying amateur. What happened? So yeah, no.
That's it. I mean, I will be staying amateur. I'm not going to do anything like that. It needs to stay am for Junior Worlds. Yeah, fair shout, Ethan. I think that's true. And actually, if you look at the sort of Junior Worlds, some of the Junior World coverage, some of those players are incredible. It'd be great to see some New Zealand players going over there. Obviously, we saw a little bit of one of the. Was it Sarah Wadsworth last week, who finished second in the world in the under-8s category. She's got some time probably before she goes to Junior Worlds, but like we'd certainly love to see her go there at some point. Talking of some upcoming tournaments, we've got Blood Sacrifice at the Confluence this weekend. That's enough from you to wear something. He's still not here, even. He's still not here. Get on the phone to him. You've got his number, right? So Brady, have you played the Confluence?
No, I haven't actually. It was still like super rugged object course the last time I was in the area. So yeah, the fact it has baskets now and the fact it has tee pads means it is arguably more playable.
So I was there. When did I play? I played in between Dunedin and in between Heislander, or just after Heislander, right? So that was February time. So I played then. Ryan Cambridge and Dom Hayden showed me around. Very kind of them to show me around and accompany me on a Wanaka day of disc golf back in February. And yeah, rugged. It's very, very rugged. Comment below on the number of lost discs you reckon there's going to be this weekend. I expect that quite a few is probably going to be the answer. I mean, I nearly lost discs on nearly every shot. I mean, I'm sure they've cleared up the fairways since I played, because the some of the fairway, there's just fallen down trees and shrubbery and logs and everything. If you don't stick to your line, yeah, I mean, good luck. It's really rugged out there. So yeah, but we'll just bring up here is the registration list for this weekend, so you can see who is playing. Now, in terms of the Sweet Chain rankings, power rankings, this tournament has Jay Watkinson winning the tournament, followed by Ryan Cambridge, followed by Hemi, and then quite a big gap between the rest of the field. Cooper Solis is obviously the tournament director and course kind of co-designer, or may even be designer. I don't know. Certainly had a big part to play in the design, upkeep, and maintenance of Confluence. Along with Ryan Cambridge, he was doing work whilst we were playing. You know, it was great to see. And yeah, so I think obviously those two have probably got an advantage, knowing the lines, knowing the conditions, knowing the lie of the land, and more likely to be able to find their discs, etc. if they go awry. What are your thoughts here, Brady? Can you see any kind of underdogs that might come through that you think could play well?
For me, honestly, my pick for the weekend is I want Ryan to win because I want him on the show next week. So Ryan, if you're listening or watching, my money's on you. Bring it home. I want to have you on the show next week talking about your win at Blood.
There we go. I'm going to look a bit further down. I'm going to say Gus Van Gistren. I think he's a really strong player. Came to Wellington and kicked all our ass. And I think this 865 rating here is perhaps lower than his quality of play. So I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes higher than his rating suggests in the MPO. Here's an interesting name, Flim Flam Hyman, who's featured on the show several times before in our hot scores round. He's playing, and in the open division we've got Haley Flintoff will be coming out to take on Casey and Anita. So that's the Blood Sacrifice tournament that's going on this weekend. You can follow all the results live on pdjlive.com. Looking at some future tournaments that are coming up, we've got what have we got here? There we are, and there we are. We got the Midwinter Classic. That was last weekend in Dunedin, and then the Sacrifice at the Confluence. Are we on the screen? We're not. Now we are. Then the Cold Snap Open is the weekend after. So the next event in the Dunedin Trilogy, if you like. Then the Paul Macbeth Foundation fundraiser on the 3rd of September. 3rd of September, that's a Saturday. News is that Sweet Chain Live is moving into a new studio on the 2nd of September. So that's going to be an entertaining weekend. Moving into a new studio and then the following day playing disc golf for the day. So come down to Petone on the 3rd of September and join the fun. Help raise some money for a great foundation fundraiser. We're going to have I think I'm going to try and get a barbecue down to Petone. If the weather's nice, come down, even if it's just for a sausage sizzle, and buy yourself a raffle ticket whilst you're there. Then this is the Extreme at the end of September. Armageddon in Nelson the week after, and the Topor Thermal Throwdown. Bethel's Coastal Classic is the week after, or a few weeks after that in October. Wahitapu, then Faultline Fury same weekend as Bros for Change, and then the 3 big ones next year. And just a reminder, if you didn't join us at the top of the show, that Nationals registration opens for the top 64 men. Disc Golf South members, and winners of the division. Winners of divisions in last year's national, this year's nationals, and this year's Smash opens on Sunday. So get your invite, make sure you register if you're in one of those groups. So Brady, which ones are you playing? Where can we expect to see you out of these ones?
You'll be able to see me, Paul Macbeth. It looks like there's a small car of us who are going to be playing Petone and Ohakuni. Nice. And then you'll be able to see me at the Tauranga Extreme up in McLaren Falls. Looking forward to that. And then the Topo or Thermal Throwdown, you'll be able to see me in October. So yeah, a couple events coming up I'm really excited for, putting in some work. Finally got another hot round at Berhampore. So yeah, hopefully those hills will help me prepare for the extreme. Oh man, let's hope the weather holds out up there. Whew.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's been the weather in Wellington has been awful, so hopefully that's not replicated across the country that weekend. Me personally, I'll be at Faultline, obviously the Paul Macbeth Foundation fundraiser. I'll also be at Faultline on the 12th, 13th of November, so get involved with that tournament if you're around in the area. And then I'm hoping to hit all three of the ones at the bottom. So yeah, I mean, the South Island Champs is going to be a bit of a family trip, and then the Smash. Looking forward to getting my registration in and sorted for that coming up, and then Topor 2 weeks after that. Didn't get to play this year, so looking forward to going up and checking out that course, which was interesting when I watched it back on the telly. So it'll be interesting to play it, to see whether my thoughts on the course, based on what I saw on the telly, were matched when we get to the when we get there live. I thought it was an interesting course. Did you play it? You played it, didn't you?
I've only played Spa Park. I didn't go up this past. I missed registration, similar to Armageddon. Like I snoozed, I loosed. So yeah, that's why I'm going up for Thermal Throwdown. So I get to play Spa Park again, which will be good. And yeah, kind of warming up a little bit for that classic next year.
Yeah. So keep an eye. You'll be able to find out when registration opens for all of those tournaments live on the show in future episodes. Right. Also, let's just have a quick look at the changes that the Midwinter Classic made to the power rankings. A whole lot of nothing is what the difference it made, largely because Levi was the only member of the top 20 other than Tom McKay to play at the Midwinter Classic. He won, which is what he was expected to do. Tom McKay finished third, and didn't change his ranking. Eilish took out the win, which pushes her one spot higher, above Amy Whitmore. Disc Golf South's Trilogy Challenge, we've been notified, is also on soon. Let's just have a quick.
Yeah, I was going to say Christchurch has a Trilogy Challenge coming up as well on the new basketed Ascot course.
No, I know. Like we,
data analytics team is.
Yes, they've been analyzing data and not the calendar. It would seem is what's been going on. So the Trilogy Challenge, there it is, on the 25th of September. Let's get let's get this up on the screen so you can see what we're looking at. There it is, 25th of September, same weekend as the Extreme. So if you're not one of these 141 players at the Extreme, then get involved in the Trilogy Challenge down at Queen's Park in Invercargill. This is great. I mean, Trilogy Challenge is fantastic. I tell you why. Well, one, you get one of these. You get a players pack. This is the 2021 players pack. The 2022 players pack, I think, has got a new putter from Dynamic Discs in it, and a bunch of other stuff. But the Trilogy Challenge is always great, and I'm a big fan of Trilogy discs. Sorry, so,
are you now?
Yeah, absolutely. Get yourself along. What you get in your Trilogy Challenge pack. You get a Prime Burst Agent, which is the new putter from Dynamic Discs. You get a VIP Ice Tersus, right? If you're keen on an Ice Tersus, and you get a Goldline Saint. Wow. So that's.
What was the second disc again?
It's a VIP Ice Tersus. right? So it like the frost line for latitude. It's designed to be to be able to withstand, so it doesn't crack in cold temperatures, right? So the idea being that it's made slightly differently, and that will have different stability characteristics, I'm sure. So it'll be their VIP plastic, which is the kind of translucent plastic the West Side make their discs in, and it will be the frost or the ice version of that, which will be able to stand more cold temperatures. And it could well be quite cold down in Invercargill in September, so that could come in useful. We shall see. More overstable, Chucky says. So yeah, the disc golf, the Trilogy Challenge in Christchurch is on Father's Day, so that's on September the 4th, the day after the Paul Macbeth Foundation fundraiser. So get involved in that. Right, so we've got a quick question. We would have asked this to Simon Feasey. He would have been a great person to ask. What's the difference between atomic and platinum plastic for RPM? As far as I'm aware, when they come out of the factory, one of the RPM team will be able to tell me I'm wrong on this. But from what I understand, when they come out of the factory, if they look nice and they've got some cool swirls on, they put a bottom stamp and mark it platinum. And if it comes out and it's kind of a plain color, because it's in the middle of a plastic run, right? So they put, as far as I get it, they put a color plastic in, and then towards the end they start pouring new different color in, and then that slowly feeds in and they start to meld together, and that's how you get swirls. So if it's a swirly one that looks nice, then they put a bottom stamp and mark it platinum, and if not, they put a top stamp and mark it atomic. I think that's how it works. I might be wrong. Am I wrong? Does that sound not right?
Oh, I have no idea, but that is an absolutely great story. The fact that they are the same plastic, just one's top stamp, one's bottom stamp.
I think they are.
I mean, you are right. It would have been a great question to ask Simon Feasey, but unfortunately, he was unable to join us this evening.
Yeah, I mean, next time when he is able to join us, obviously we will get him on the show and we can ask him that very question, because I've often wondered. And then I think I asked someone and they told me. Whether they told me in confidence or not, I don't know, but they told me. So there we go. Cat's out the bag now. Right. Right. What else have we got to cover today, Brady? Have we got anything else that's pressing that we need to update people on? I'm just trying to look.
No, I don't think so. I think that covers everything.
The Paige Pierce documentary, which we featured, or we didn't feature, but we saw the teaser for last week. Anyone seen it? I purchased it last few days ago, and I watched it the other day, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I'd encourage you to buy it on Disc Golf Network, and then get a whole bunch of your mates around who don't play disc golf, and watch it with them. That's what I thought. I think it's incredibly kind of universal and could be entertaining and instructional for people outside of people who aren't kind of invested in it. Probably everybody watching this is knee deep in disc golf most of the time. But if you're not, then I'd encourage you to watch that documentary, because it was really, really good. So yeah, get involved with that if you can. Brett Carlisle was asking for Worlds picks. Yes, we're going to be doing some Worlds picks, probably a bit close to the time.
I was going to say, how about we make it through Des Moines first?
We've got a few more weeks yet until Worlds, but we will be doing some Worlds picks. Brady, if it's half as exciting as last year, we're in for an absolute crackerjack. So
to be fair, all of the big players are starting to heat up. Eagles back. Ricky's feeling well. Paul is starting to dial some stuff in. So yeah, it's going to be one heck of a
You say
world.
that. Paul Macbeth is on his longest losing streak ever. Right? So he's lost 12 in a row. When I say lost, I mean not finished first, right? He's not finished last, but he's not finished first, 12 in a row. And that's the longest of his career. But he always shows up for Worlds, right? When has he never showed up for Worlds? So he's going to be, you can't write him off. It's going to be fantastic. Let us know a little bit closer to the time we'll be doing our Worlds picks. Let us know yours. and we'll maybe have a little competition to see who gets closest. We'll try and work something out, and the data analytics team will be on hand to help out. Right. Anything else? Or is that us?
I think that's us.
I think that's us. Look, thank you so much for being patient with us and joining us, rabbiting on tonight. It's a pity Simon couldn't make it, but he was unable to make it, and so we'll have to have him on again. Wherever you're playing disc golf, take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.